in this video, we are going to see something which is very, very cool, okay? And I'm talking about relighting an image, a photo, or a part of your render with normal maps, okay? A normal map is something like this, is, a multicolored layer, which most of the time just, come from the render engine. It's one of the passes you can add to the list. And below the video, we will find informations about, which pass you need to activate if you're using V-Ray or Corona. But anyway, a normal map can be created also with other software. Let's say that you have a photo like this. I found this photo on the internet. It's a statue. And years ago, I had to put this statue in a museum. And unfortunately, the light that we had in the render was completely different from the lighting of this photo. So I had to find a way to completely, relight this picture without rendering, okay? So what I've done is I calculated a normal map using a software called NDO, which is basically a very early version of the Quixel softwares that we have nowadays. And so, you can use any software to create a normal map from a photo. There is something from NVIDIA. You will find some links below the video. But anyway, once you have the normal map of the picture, what you need to do is to put the normal map on top of the picture, as you can see here. And, you can mask the normal map to not go outside of the borders of the object you want to relight, like in this case, okay? And once you have this, what you need to do is to add an adjustment called channel mixer. Now, the channel mixer mix, different information coming from the channels of your image, RGB, red, green, and blue. But what you need to do in here is to attach the channel mixer to the normal map and then change the type of the channel mixer to monochrome, which means that you will, not see colors anymore, but only, black and white values. Now, there's a few things here to change and the sliders, but I cannot give you some magic numbers, okay? There's no magic numbers here. You need to find your own numbers by, trial and error. But at least I can tell you that you can start with the red on the left and green and blue on the right, okay? This is something I can tell you straight away. And as you can see, just doing this, you can tell that, it's like if we have now a light coming from the left and some shadow on the right, which is cool because anyway is, a new light setup for the statue. And normally when I want to add some shadows over an image, we change the blending mode to multiply, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm selecting this layer and I'm changing the blending mode to multiply. Now, the shadow probably is too strong, so nobody stopped me to, go down with the opacity. But as you can see now, we have a proper shadow, a realistic shadow on the right, okay? And remember, this is a photo, it's not a render, okay? So if you have a 3D render, this could be 10 times better, okay? Anyway, if I hide this, you can tell, you see, there is a kind of a shadow coming, on the right side. But now the real trick is, how can I move the light? Okay, because, sounds impossible, but it's actually possible. And it's possible because the normal map is made of colors, and each color is basically a direction, okay? So how can we change colors in an image? Well, easily with the U iteration, moving the U. And as you can see now, I put the U in between the normal map and the channel mixer. And what you need to do is to change the U, and magically the light will move. You see? This is crazy, right? And for example, you can move the light like this, and now it looks like we have, a spotlight from the bottom having some light there on the statue. Okay, this is amazing. And of course, what you can do is you can have multiple times this setup to add, maybe lights somewhere only. Let's say that I want to add a light on the shoulder. I can duplicate these things here, Control J, select them all, Control J. And so now I want to increase, I don't know, I want to add a light. So instead of multiply, I go from screen mode or color dodge, right? And then I just rotate the light with the U, because you see, I can rotate, you see, the light direction with the U. So now I like this direction is on the shoulder. And then with the channel mixer, I can basically change the fall off, okay, the strength of the fall off. So if I do something like, you see, the strength of the range of the follow, the dimension of the follow will basically be modified, okay? And once I find something I like, okay, something I like, I can even put these layers into a group, mask the group, invert the mask so everything goes away, and then paint with a black value only the area I really care about, you see? And now we have this speckler on the left shoulder. And you know, this is it. In case you want to add a colored light, okay, because this is black and white, you can add at the top another hue saturation and change the method to colorize. And as you can see now, the light looks like red. And of course, you can add a little bit, I don't know, I don't want like a warm light, so I'm going something like this, okay? And as you can see, it works, and you can do wherever you want. Now, if I show you the same example on something that comes from a render engine, okay, this is a chair from, you know, Corona, and this is the normal pass from Corona, I can do the same. So channel mixer again, attached to it, monochrome, red on the left, green and blue on the right. And then in the middle here, I put a hue saturation because I want to move the light. You will see now the light is really, really cool and is really, I mean, realistic, okay? Because the normal map is accurate because it comes from the render engine, okay? And so now it looks like we have a light coming from the top. If I change the blending method here to screen or, you know, color dodge, let's say screen, and I go down a little bit with the opacity, you see now if I activate or deactivate the layer, it looks like we have a light coming from the top. And this is amazing, okay? Because you don't have to re-render again. And let's say we want a little bit of orange in that light, I put a hue saturation on top, and then I just colorize and then go with a little bit of a warm tone, okay? And I don't know, let's say that you want the other part of the chair blue, you can do the same, you know, below this with a little bit of, you know, color balance. So now we have the overall chair, which is like bluish, and then the light on the top, which is kind of orangey. And you can control the strength of the light with the opacity of the normal map, okay? As you can see. So amazing stuff, and it works well. And you know, you can really save a lot of time because you don't have to re-render because you want to add some light, okay? And also you can keep moving the first hue saturation and see what happens, because you see, you can then try different setup of lights and keep the one that you like the most.